Wagwanji. Hey mate, how you doing? How's everyone doing? How's everyone's week been? Mine has been an absolute nightmare. But we're here. That's the important part. Hey, what's that? How you doing, mate? I like the green sprout. I'm feeling it. So, couple of things. I've gotten quite a few requests on Patreon. This is an image someone sent me, which I found really interesting. Like, it really is really interesting. So, I'm not sure how complex it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be extremely complex. But it's just one of those things that you just don't know whether it's going to be hard or not. So we could do this. Either way, I'm going to do it. Whether it's here on stream or if it's off stream, I'll probably end up doing it. The other options are, I don't know, I've been kind of skimming through Pinterest for the past 20 minutes, more or less. Trying to scramble for some references that we could approach today. This has been popping up a lot on my feed. Designs such as... I don't remember what this one was. Oh, this one's interesting, but it's not too complex, I guess. Don't know if you guys can see it. I guess the logic is you have like a series of panels, scale them according to the frame. And then you just eat away at it with some points. So whatever is closest to those points, you just reduce the size, or you can do it with a Boolean difference as well. That's also an option. I saw this. This is really interesting. Voronoi sort of framework. It looks cool. I'm not sure how difficult it would actually be to do, but it could be worth it getting into. Some other references. This one is actually a request on Patreon, which I really liked. It's not very difficult, but I want to add a layer of difficulty to this. So usually we work with hello. Usually we work with graph mappers, but I'm thinking perhaps we can create our own graph mapper using a reference in Rhino. So we can draw a curve that kind of goes up and down all over the place, right? And then reference that curve and extract the values and use that to manipulate the height of this. And then what crossed my mind was that there's actually a type of design I did not long ago for a firm. It's this idea here. So the concept here, I don't know how clear it is. I'll probably download the image. I think it's going to be a little bit easier to explain, and I think it could be a really interesting outcome. So just bear with me a second. I'm going to open it up here. Oh no, you don't see it here, do you? No, it's not this. I would have to draw it. This is what I was looking for. Okay, so imagine you have what can we call this? Like two railing systems or two systems, right? One of them is slightly displaced from the other, and wherever they overlap, they generate this darker figure, because obviously you just don't have one item, but you have two, so it's like a double overlap, and it generates that part in the middle, which I find really fascinating. So this is what I was thinking, that this could be a really interesting idea concept to apply to this. Where are you? To this concept here. Right, I think that could be interesting. We have one at the top, one at the bottom, and then we can generate that figure in between. This sort of idea, to come up with an idea similar to this one here, which I think is really cool, to be honest. I mean, it's not super complex, but it might be interesting enough to approach. I saw this, but we've done this a couple of times in the past. Either way, I am going to, I don't know, if you guys are interested in seeing this, what I could probably do is I could share the link in the chat. Just let me log in quickly onto YouTube, onto my thing, and then I could write in chat, and I think that could be interesting. So one sec. So this reference is this one if you're interested in seeing it. What's this? No, ChatGPT. Yeah, so I don't know what you guys think about it. Yeah, there was this other thing I was gonna. Oh right. So, funnily enough, this week in the office, we were having big issues with slopes. Like how can we visualize slopes when modifying a terrain? So we got a really interesting project where the terrain goes crazy around the contours where the roads are. So we were trying to calculate, okay, how can we achieve the slopes, you know, by moving points up and down? Like, how could we create a sort of interface where we would know how to, first of all, like, make sure that the slopes are up to code, and doing this not manually where you have to measure the height, the distance in floor plan, do the height divided by the distance, multiplied by 100 to calculate the slope. The idea was to do this in Grasshopper and be able to visualize it much quicker. So there is a way we can do this, which I found. It's really easy, but people don't think about Grasshopper in this way, like as a tool to help you out, even with terrains. So I could probably actually show you an example, right? If here I have, for example, I'm just going to imagine, this is a very simple version of the problem we had in the office, right? So let's say I have the surface, right? And this, not surface, this road, right? We're going to imagine, let me just quickly, this is a huge road, where the road does something like this. I'm going to quickly draw that. This is a very simple version, but I think it's quite interesting. So the logic here is, okay, we have a road like this. So I'm going to reference this in Grasshopper. So I'm going to type in brep. I'm going to assign multiple reps. We have that there. And then what I did was deconstruct brep. Yeah, the automation perks. People aren't aware, man. They think it's just design, but yeah, it's just we're basically limiting ourselves to what we do, right? And that's not really ideal. Okay, so here, edges, because there's multiple surfaces that share the same edge, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove duplicates, because I'm pretty sure that there are. You can use a Karamba version, or you could use, I think the other one, where are you? This one here. This belongs to Kangaroo Physics. I think that's a little bit more accessible. So we've just removed the number of curves we have. We can count the number of curves we have just to make sure that in fact we are culling out any duplicates. So if I connect a list length here, you can see that we have 10 curves. And here we have 10 as well. Oh, okay. That's not, doesn't seem right. I'm sharing edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ah, okay. I don't have any duplicates. That's very intriguing. That's strange. And I don't know why I don't trust it. Edges. Okay, fair enough. I'm guessing if I were to do this, if I were to do it this way, I did not know this. I'm guessing here you would get duplicates. 12, yeah. Oh, that's interesting. So if you use deconstruct brep on a poly surface, it already calls out the curves for you. I did not know that. Okay, well, if you're not laughing, you're learning. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. Cool, I did not know that. Okay, so we have those curves, and basically to calculate a slope, all you need, I'm going to draw here, is, this is your ramp, right? Then you're just going to have this and this. So I'm going to call this Y, I'm going to call this X, and you just need to calculate Y divided by X multiplied by 100. Oh my god, I can't draw here. 100 equals the slope. Okay, so that's a super basic mathematics. The issue is that I have this point and this point, right? So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to project this point onto the floor, right? So I'm going to project A and B. And this is going to be my value of X because I don't have another way of measuring. I have to project it. And then for my height, which is Y, I'm going to, you know, if I calculate the coordinates of this point, it's going to be X, Y, Z, right? I'm going to call this 1 or 0, 0, 0. And then here you're going to have X, Y, Z, but this one's going to be 1, 1, 1. To calculate this difference, you just do Z0 minus Z1, right? But this may give you a negative value because it depends on what order is which. So if I do it one way or the other, I might get negative values, and you don't want a negative value. So all you just do is you make it absolute. So you make this absolute, and then you get that value. It looks very complicated, but it just really isn't. I'm going to save this image because I think it could be interesting. Okay. So why did I just do all of that? Well, we need to calculate the length on floor plan. So what I usually do is just do a project onto the XY plane. This is going to give me a length. So bravo, we have our length. And then for the height, what I'm going to do is endpoints. And then I'm just going to do deconstruct points. And we're going to do what I commented before. So you just do subtraction, Z minus Z, and then absolute. Just to kind of make sure that it's always a positive value. And then you have the height. So I'm going to use an expression. X divided by Y multiplied by 100 is the slope. X, we need it to be X, not variables. X is the height, which we said was this, divided by this. And then here we're going to have a list of, my mouse went crazy. A list of slopes. So here you can see that you have those slope values 0 because they're horizontal or not, right? Now, the interesting part here is actually I have a script ready. This is a C# script which allows you to visualize information. I don't know which one's which. Strip value, string T. Oh, T is the text, I think, if I remember correctly. T. So what this little component does is it gives you the text and it places it wherever you indicate an L. So, for example, if I go back to the curves, I'm just going to relay another one. I think it's going to be a bit easier. If I relay this curve here, and I say middle, because that's where I want it to show the calculation. Bang. It's going to be very small. So I need to give it a height. So 0 to 10. I don't know what sort of the parameters are. There we go. So here you can see that I'm now getting the values, right? And it might be a little bit too big. I don't know if you guys can see it there. If I go on a floor plan and make this a little bit smaller, I can actually see the slope values here, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the color, custom preview. Oh, wrong one. There we go. And I'm just going to swatch. I'm going to change it to black. There we go. And you get those values. Now, perhaps there's too many decimals. So here in text, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to round to a nearest decimal. So round, decimal place. I want it to have 2 decimal places. This is going to go over here. And this is going to go here. And then with this, what you can do now is, okay, this slope here is 18.17, right? Now this slope is too much. So perhaps what I need to do is figure out a way how I can move the terrain to make this part higher. So that instead of being 18, it's now 13, right? Or I can say, okay, this one's too high because it's 13 and this one maximum has to be 8. Okay, so I now know that these points can go down and I'm going to go as close as possible to an 8. So more or less. You see what I mean? Now, this is a very easy version of the script we had to do in the office, but I think it's really, really useful, especially when you're doing terrain calculations. You can apply the same logic for volume, I guess, to calculate volumes per. So when you have a terrain, what you can do is you can divide it into panels, and then you can generate points on the terrain, and then move those points up and down. And what you would do is just calculate the difference between the point movement, and then you can calculate the difference in volume per square meter or per 5 square meters, or whatever grid you're working with. And then that way you can kind of extrapolate percentages in terms of volume of terrain moved. That one's a little bit more tricky, but the logic is exactly the same. So yeah, just keep your brains open to the idea that you can in fact apply Grasshopper further than just design. So yeah, that was a request I got to kind of explain a way you could use it in a more professional, conventional setting, I would say. Okay, so this is going to be terrain. This is like part 1. I just wanted to show you guys that. Perhaps that was no interesting, like it's not interesting at all, but I this was a request and I thought it's worth mentioning. Okay, anyway, back to business. So I didn't ask you guys if you were interested or not in this design. This one here, where are you? Here. So my proposal, I'm going to repeat it again just in case if anyone new has arrived, is to do something like this, but in a way that we are, instead of just using one panel system, I don't know what you call it, it's not really a panel, I'm just going to call it panel system, you know what I mean? Instead of using just one panel system, we're going to use 2 in a way that one's at the top, one is at the bottom, and then when they overlap, they're going to produce this more dense field, because obviously instead of having it every 0.1 meters, you would have it every 0.5, so it's more dense in the parts that they coincide. Yeah, I mean the C component, if you guys want it, I can probably upload it, because it is a custom component. Yeah, you know what, I'm gonna share it with you guys because I feel kind. Bear with me a second and I will do that now. Okay, it's here. Okay, I want to call this save document C# file, and I'm going to upload this onto a WeTransfer, and I'm going to send that to you guys now. No, I'm only sharing because you guys are taking your time to accompany me on this scripting session. There you are, a freebie. Make sure to download it and name it properly. What I'm doing is creating folders, putting Grasshopper files there and leaving a little note saying this is blah 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 blah. 2 minutes of your time now equals saving yourself 1 hour of trying to organize your stuff in the future. So take the time and do it. Okay, so what the hell is this logic today? Yeah, so I guess the logic today would be, I keep forgetting to ask you guys if are you guys okay with me doing this? I think it's worth doing, to be quite frank. This, I think we can get some interesting results. This is also very interesting, but I guess you could probably achieve this as a next step to all of this. So we'll leave that just in case we finish quickly, which I have my doubts. Does that sound bueno? No bueno? Es una posibilidad que queréis tantear. I should probably speak more Spanish to you guys. That'd be interesting to see reaction. Are there any Spanish people here, or Spanish speaking? ¿Hay alguien aquí en el stream que hable español y que no hable inglés, por ejemplo? ¿O todos somos de lengua materna inglesa? Anyway, So if no one is saying anything, I'm just gonna. Yeah, I feel you. Gosh, you're gonna make me blush, mate. Okay, cool. All right. You know what? I'm just gonna be a dictator and do whatever I want. Okay, so I'm gonna create a rectangle. Okay, I'm just kind of thinking out loud. Rectangle to contain a circles or a series of circles. The only issue is that we need to make sure that they overlap. How can we ensure that they overlap? Okay. Okay, let's do this. Copy paste. We're gonna populate the crap out of this geometry. Populate. We're working in 2 dimensions for now. 2D. How many points? Whatever we want. I'm gonna say like 20. Region count. Seed is something we might want to play around with. I'm just going to leave that there as an option. I'm going to align all of this. Bring this over here. Populate. Okay, there. Circles. Now, do you want all the circles to be the same size? That's another interesting part. A woolly tread. Don't know what that is. Give me a sec. Let me have a look. Woolly tread. I'm not sure what you mean, mate. Try and clarify it for me and I'll comment. Okay. Circles. Do you want them to be the same height, same radius? Maybe. Do you want it to be a parameter? Perhaps. So range, steps is 20, construct domain is this one here, between 0 and whatever value. Our dimension is quite big actually, so I'm going to say 20, no, 30. 30 by, I want a ratio of 1 to. Radius 1 is going to be like 10 maybe, and the other one's going to be 20. Okay. Radius, plane. That's too big. Too big. And too many circles actually. And I have duplicates. Why do I have duplicates? Count. I have duplicate values. What the hell? Why 9? Range. I have 10. Does it produce an extra value? For some reason. I don't know. Yes, it does. Oh, you bastard. Okay, expression. X minus 1. Okay. Okay. Okay, we need to ensure that these circles overlap. So, I'm going to do that manually. Okay, something along these lines. I'm going to use a region union. This one here. Bang. So we have the contour. I'm going to save this as stream file, which I already have. Today's date actually is, yes, use today's date. Okay, so we have this bad boy here. That's a weird form. Okay, so we're going to do divide curve. Now, divide curve is going to be whatever value you want. Actually, we should use divide length. I think that makes more sense. Divide length. Round up. Sure, let's round upwards. The distance. Now, the thing is, I don't have any reference. 40 meters. Okay, that's big. So I'm going to go for every meter for now. Dang. Ooh, what's happened here? Reference instead of object. But you're still doing it, my friend. So why are you giving me an error? That's interesting. Curve. I don't like errors. I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to say length. I'm going to do it manually. Division. Division we said every meter for now. And that's just going to be a divide length. Divide curve. Do that there. It's going to round to the closest number. This is approximately. We don't need it to be super exact. Okay, so we have that. Divisions. Now, what the fuck was I going to do? Okay, I need to raise this up first. So at the beginning, I need to change the height. So I could just change the initial plane on which the circles are drawn. So if I change the plane, it's going to change everything. So I'm going to say 15 meters height, initial height. That there. So that's one, and I also need the one on the floor, right? So what I can just do is I can project the points on the bottom. Not along. Okay, sorry if I go quiet. I'm just trying to mentally create some sort of schematic. Okay, so here the issue is that I need to take into account that further down the line I want to do two graphs. So I need to create two groups. I need to create two groups. That is the case. Okay, so let me do that before I project. So dispatch. That's going to be that. Points. Hopefully it's going to dispatch. Yeah, boy. That works. Okay, cool. Nice. So I'm going to project this one. It's the one I choose is not relevant. It's irrelevant, so it's not a curve, it's a point. Okay, let's put the point over here. I'm going to turn all this mumbo jumbo off. And then, okay, we have that. Now, we could do it with a graph. We can do it with reference curve. It's kind of up to us. Interesting thing though, how would I even do it if I were to reference it? That's a good question. You'd have to use some sort of remap. And the length wouldn't match, but that's fine because we're going to do division by the same number of points. I think that's going to be the way forward. Okay, so I'm going to try this out. Oh god, this might be yeah, interesting. I'm going to create some guardrails, just some reference lines. Orthogonal off. I'm just going to do a random. Oh shit. Just a random whatever curve, right? I'm a more of a fan of using Graph Mapper, but just to kind of switch it up a little bit. How on earth would you do this? Actually, that's a very good question. I'm going to reference both curves. I think that's one curve. The other curve is going to be this one. Curve. I'm working against the X dimension. Okay, I'm going to turn this off just in case. Okay, so I guess the idea would be that you would need to divide this one by the same number of points. So if I turn this on, you have that. And then curve closest point. Is it going to be perpendicular? Yes, it should be, right? So these points closest to this one, that's going to give me a series of distances. And then I'm just going to use a remap. Where I say bounds, for distance, construct domain. construct domain. Bounds needs to be flattened. This is very important because you're trying to find the minimum maximum of all of the values. And if you don't flatten, what's going to happen most likely is that it's going to be in subgroups. Yeah, you can see it over here. Ah, okay, yeah, here. You're going to see subgroups. And you don't want subgroups, you want it to be flattened. So if I were to flatten here, you'll be able to see that it's all on one continuous list. Yeah, anyway. Construct domain, that's going to be between whatever values I have. This is going to be a parameter we control manually. We'll need to check this out afterwards, I guess. The minimum shouldn't be 0. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my original one. Turn this off. I did a target. That's going to give me values. Actually, I don't know how this works. If it works at all. I don't know, these two value things, weird. Do I have the same issue here? That's a good question to have. Yes, I do. Okay. Divide curves. Yeah, okay, so I guess I would have to dispatch. That's an interesting question too. I would have to I have to do something a little bit different. Okay, I have to do list length because I'm dividing the reference curve by the same as before, but the thing is I'm dispatching into two separate groups. So I actually need to count how many items I have here. So flatten, and then I might have to use an expression somewhere. This is speculation, so I'm not sure. So that's going to be my count. I can probably check actually. List length. I can see how many values I'm getting here. How many values I'm getting here? 153. Odd number. 151 plus 1. Why am I getting two separate groups? Region union. Because is it because it's not a closed curve, so it counts the beginning and end, whereas here I don't have. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. Is this the reason why? No. It doesn't give me. Oh my god, that's interesting. Is this a closed curve? I don't know. Is this a closed curve? Let's check. It is a closed curve. Okay. Then I think it's because when you divide curve, it produces an extra point at where it ends. So your starting point and your finishing point is the same. Is that a thing? I guess I could flatten here. That would resolve the issue. 152, that's really bloody weird. Oh no, of course. Because when you use divide curve, you're not actually dividing into points, you're dividing into segments. That's the issue. You're dividing into segments. So my theory is that you have duplicate points. So I'm going to say remove duplicate points, and then we're going to see if that's the issue. $152, no. Is the problem arising from before? Yes, apparently so. It is from before. Here the count is, so it's not, the issue is not the same. It's not the same, is it? No. I think it's because of this. This is something, this is theory I have, but I'm not sure it will manifest until later. We'll check. We'll check. Okay, so this is the values, and what I'm going to do is SDL, direction Z. Length is going to be the values there, and then this is going to be SDL. So in theory, you're going to see the same up and down according to this. Now, I can change the remap values. Like so. Remap values. Okay, so I have that values there. And in theory, let me turn all this off. Turn this off. If I move my original curve, let me get rid of this. If I move my original curves, let me just move this out of the way actually. I'm going to bring it in front. If I change one of these values, you see it adjusts over here. So let me do that again. There we go. So you get the same accordance to one thing and the other. You see? Obviously, if this point is a lot higher, there's going to be some disconnect over here where it goes from small to high. Now, this is really good if you want to define where the openings and closings are. But yeah, this method is not my favorite because it's not as smooth as you can get with a graph mapper. So I'm going to leave this as an option. I'm going to copy and paste. I'm going to use this underneath, and I'm going to get rid of this. I'm just going to leave it there as a possible option. Okay, so let me turn this off. I'm going to go back to our version here. We have line SDL. We don't need that yet. I'm going to disconnect and save that for later. Okay, so I'm going to use graph mapper. Range. I'm going to use list length. Although we could use the same one as divide curve because they match. Steps. No, not steps, domain. Actually, no, it is steps. What am I doing? What am I doing? There we go. Okay. This is going to be whatever sine wave we want. Let me make this a little bit bigger so we have a little bit more margin to play with. Like this. I'm going to remap this. Actually, I could probably use... I'm just going to copy and paste this. Remap. This is going to be the length, and this is going to be this one here, like so. Okay, so you have these values going up, and I think it's producing an extra value, x minus 1, and okay. There we go. Is it not working? Why is it not working? Why is it not working? Oh, it is. It's just very subtle. Okay. It's going up and down, up and down. Here it jumps. The jump is because why? Why are you jumping? Oh, because I've divided by 2. I'm an idiot. Okay. List length. Okay, let's try again. Flatten. Here. I was wondering, why is it not working? Here. There we go. That makes a lot more sense. There we go. Yeah, now it's working. Okay. Are you guys following along? Or have I lost you? Have I lost you guys already? Okay, so we have that there. Now the remap does need to be bigger. So I'm going to go for like 20, for example. And then we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it for the bottom. Now, what I'm going to do is just going to quickly use some relay stuff. going to put this further down, copy paste. This is going to go underneath, and this is going to be the other curve. Bang. Okay. This one is going to be negative Z, or negative Z length. Doesn't really matter. And you're going to see they're starting to overlap, which is good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to increase the distance. I'm going to say 0.5. And we can already see some effect going on here. When we give this sort of pipes and stuff, it's going to be a lot more interesting. Now here I do want the value to be 0 in some of them. We are all eyes. See what you did there. Okay, let's bring this back. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, okay, I have the region union here. I'm going to work in parallel, creating those structure thingies. So I'm going to offset. I should probably offset in both directions. Offset curve, plane, XY, cap type, both distances toggle. I think that's the way to do it. Both sides, distance, whatever, right? What's happening here? Solution to exception value cannot be null. What value is null? Ah, lol. I think the way this works is you have to indicate both offsets, right? Is that not? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how. Sorry, talking to myself again. Here, collection. What value is null? There is no null value. What the hell are you on about? Hang on, let me see here. Is there a null value? No. There is no null value. Maybe one of these is a null value. Cap type. Linear one. I don't know. I don't think it has anything to do with this. Nope. Plane. Plane is XY. That's not the issue either. What the fudge? Why is it null? Why is it giving me an error? That makes no sense. I don't know. Actually, why do I have two curves here? Hold up. Hold up. I'm getting two values. Why? How's that even possible? Region union is producing two values? Is that a thing? Oh, that's right. Where the hell's the other one? The hell? What's that about? Why do I have two values? Flatten. One. Where the hell is it? Is it very small? Is that the issue? It is very small. Haha, you bugger. There is a very small overlap. Okay, so that's giving me indication that perhaps region union is not the correct one. Boundary probably makes more sense then. Flatten. Shit, this is not either. Okay. It's flattening surfaces. Oh, there we go. Curve length. Ah, because it's not a curve. is to curve. Naked edges. No, it's not the one. Naked. Get naked. What's that bloody curve? Wireframe. Wireframe, that's the one. It's still producing that bloody value there. Okay, let's think about this logically. What would be one way to cull out any interior curves? The logic here would be, what would it be? How would you remove any? If you have curves one inside the other. If you have a curve inside the other, how would you bloody remove it, logically speaking? Point and curve, but the point, if I use an area inside the same one, it's also going to be inside. Surface area. Whatever surface area is bigger is the boundary surface. Does that make sense? If I'm trying to filter out which one's the biggest one, the logic would be the one that has most surface area. Because if there's a curve inside another one, my logic is saying that the curve inside is smaller in surface area, the one that then is outside. English. That makes sense, right? I'm not making it up. Am I just changing physics all of a sudden? Curve surface area. Yeah, and then that would also clean up the whole duplicate issue from before. Ah, that's clever. Killing two birds with one stone. Okay, good. Sort list. I'm going to sort by area. So I'm going to see that one's bigger than the other one, obviously. Area by a lot. Okay, so because it's bigger, I can say my values, which in this case are the curves, are going to be controlled by the surface area. And then I'm going to do list item. Now I'm not sure if it's going to put it from smallest to biggest. I think it is. List item panel. I want to choose the biggest one, so I'm going to say -1 because it goes backwards in the list. Values, which is going to be my biggest one. Haha, nice. Nice. And then in theory that should clean up. That's good. Okay. Muy bien. Muy bien, muy bien. Okay. All of that. Jesus. Alright, so we have this now working. Good. That's a relief. I'm going to reduce this to 1. Okay. Here, can I do surface? Will it calculate the difference between one and the other? Fuck, no. This is long. What a pain in the ass. Okay, so offset curve, distance curve, that's 1. Copy paste, distance is negative. Solid difference because I can big one minus small one, big one minus small one. There we go. Now we have the surface. One problem after the bloody other. Okay, so we have the surface, extrude, Z. We're going to say 0.3 as thickness. Pardon. Okay, so we have that shenanigan going on. Okay, so we have that. Ahora qué hacemos, tío. Ahora vamos a... Sorry, I'm just trying to think if we could do anything interesting on the roof. Anyway. Okie dokie. Okay. I'm thinking that the offsets should be better if they're different. I prefer it going outwards. So having some sort of overhang, that would be cool. Okay, so we have those panels. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pipe them, merge them into one group, like so. I'm going to flatten. I'm going to pipe this. Panel 1. Radius is going to be whatever, right? I'm going to say 0.02 because the separation I think it's 0.5. So 0.05. I'm going to add more profiles every 20 centimeters. Now there should be some pillars or something, right? My God, my throat. That's interesting. What there was something we talked about earlier, right? Am I going crazy? The jitter effect. Okay, but I'm thinking we need some pillars or something, right? Oh shit, 0.1 might be too small. Give me a sec. Let me change this back. And I'm just going to increase the size of the profile. 0.1. 0.1. I'm thinking, what can we do on the roof that could be interesting? What if we... What if we... Where are you? My throat is so effed. Turn this on. We have those curves. Okay, what can we do here? Can we do anything interesting? I have an idea. Give me a sec. Give me a second, guys. Trust the process. Oh fuck, my computer just froze. Ay, señor, ¿por qué me pasa estas cosas a veces? ¿Por qué me suceden estas cosas? Mi ordenador se ha petado. My computer just froze. There we go. Back. Okay, we're back. So these are my old scripts. And I know I have a script around here, which I could just copy and paste. What's it bloody called? I think it's called Sphere Pavilion, this one here. I'm thinking of doing this on the roof. My God, my throat, Jesus. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this file. I'm going to open it up. Hopefully it's not such an old file. Okay, so yes, I have it. Oh, brilliant. Magnifico. So I'm going to quickly do something here and I'm going to copy and paste. My God, when I was so messy with my scripts, I'll show you guys in a second. I'm glad I've changed for the better. My messiness here. This is the part of the script that I need. Here, mesh. Jesus. Incredible. Catman cock. I forgot about this. Oh my God, I haven't used these components in ages, mate. Okay, I'm going to push this over here. This is my mesh. I mean, I may need to modify these values. I need to remember how this works. Boundary. Yes, this makes sense. Jesus, why is this all... Man, I used to be so bloody messy. Okay. Jesus. absolutely horrible. We work with it. Jesus, joderines, esto es horrible. Okay, bring this back. Align this at least. Okay, there's some sort of order here. It's not ideal. I know. Don't beat me up. Okay. Yeah, I hate the fact that we have to go through meshes. I hate it with a bloody passion you do not comprehend. Anyway, silly me. Okay, so we need the boundary edge, and that's going to be the region union thing. Let me just save because I'm aware that this could go horribly wrong. Actually, I'm going to turn this off here just to make sure that it doesn't go crazy. Right, okay. Hopefully this works. Let me save again. I'm going to turn this off. Turn this off. This should go to... Bang, okay. And then here I need to turn this on. Ah, okay, not bad. Ah, okay, not bad at all. Length factor, this I do want it to change. I want it to extend a little bit more. And I need more subdivisions, which I don't remember how to do. How did you do this? How do you subdivide a mesh? My god, I haven't done this in so long. Is it ISO? Is it ISO trim? Or subdivide domain? What is it like? I don't remember. Oh my god. That's funny. Okay, let me see if I can... ChatGPT can help me out here. I'm being completely transparent here, guys. How do you even ask this question? I'm using kangaroo physics in Grasshopper to inflate a surface. I need to subdivide the mesh so that I can generate more edges for kangaroo physics. This is a long shot. Can I do this? Let's see. Come on. Use Brett mesh. Mesh, remesh. Mesh machine, try mesh. Okay, so try mesh. Tree mesh. Okay. Tree? Did I write this one? No, try mesh. What the fudge? Did I write that? Meh? Excusez-moi, madame. Pardon. Okay. Just fish memory. Target. Option differential mesh pillar. Okay, I should probably take a second to read this. Explain inputs. Oh, I didn't say of what component. Try mesh. Okay. M mesh. Cool. Clean mesh. Blah blah blah. L. Okay. Large value. Fewer triangles. Small values. Okay. 1 very dense. 5. Okay. So let's start high, and then we can work our way through that. Geometry. Geometry. Now I can't see the mesh. Anyway, we could check that out in a second. Target. No? Excuse me? Target edge length 20. No. I am connected to a mesh. Pardon? Oh my lord, ¿por qué me pasa esto? Surely there must be a way. No. Data conversion from number to mesh. Number to mesh. That's... Am I using the wrong one? Or is it just here in length? Ah. Jesus. I'm just a bit impatient, guys. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Let me try with one, because it might go horribly wrong. Save, bang. And then here, it should inflate. Ah, okay, that's what we're talking about. Okay, so it does work. Okay, free. Much better. Much, much better. Okay, you learn. We're learning. If you're not laughing, you're learning. Okay, good. We have all of this now. It's too big, so 0.5. So edge length basically controls what's the maximum value I can stretch each one of these edges to. So the more subdivisions you have, the smaller the value of the edge. Okay. How else? Let me explain this as well. Actually, might be a good moment. So tri-mesh triangulates a mesh. So the higher the length, the less triangles you have. Evidently, the less precise it is. Show is just to show the outcome after using the solver. Edge length is what we talked about. So we're applying a force, and it's basically a limiter to how long the edges of the surface can be stretched to. This is the maximum. Strength is how much strength is being applied. I just leave it on default. Naked edges calculates the curves, so the sort of the triangulation, the edges. It's saying that on all of the points on the vertices, I want you to apply a uniform, or a constant rather, not uniform, a constant load, right, which goes down. I'm just using the default values. And then it's also saying you have anchor points. So anchor points, if you don't apply this, it's like if you let go of something in the air, right? It's just going to fall down and it's going to keep falling into infinity. Anchors is holding the surface in place, and it's going to be stretching everything else from those points. So it's your anchor, literally. And then the solver just calculates the length, right? So essentially that's the logic behind this bad boy. And then what comes after is something that I need to check. I know it's the thickness, and then also the paneling system and a frame. It creates like a window sort of thing. So I'm going to enable. There we go. And you're going to see it there. I'm going to use custom preview, swatch, and this is going to be here, this is going to be there. Okay. And we have the edges, we have everything else. Now we're seeing duplicate info, or not? Ah, the mesh thicken thing. Yeah, that's always going to happen though. It's not going to be perfect, is it? Okay, and then we have that. And then if I turn on the things from before, oh god, that's absolutely horrible. Let me just see if I can invert the direction. Force vector value of 1 kilonewtons, I guess. So I could say negative, and then I'm not sure if it's going to automatically adjust. There, reload. I need to indicate the value. Okay, fair enough. 1. Oh no, it's already going to be 1. Is it? Force vector, is it positive? It is positive. I want it to go downwards. Number to vector. Oh, it's a vector. So Z. Negative Z. There we go. And I think that's going to be a lot more interesting. If it goes in negative. Okay. Okay, cool. Maybe we don't even want this. We just want the edge. That's interesting. It's like a net. I think that's interesting. That is interesting. Anyway. Now, this structure doesn't have any pillars. So, we should probably add one or two, right? So, I'm going to use the original curve and then I'm just going to divide every length. So, divide curve by length, divide length, where are you? Here. Okay, divide length, and I'm going to use curve and distance is going to be every 5 meters, approx. Round up, sure. Project. Then line between the original one and the projection, and you have those pillars. Now the pillars probably should go behind actually, so I'm going to connect this one here like so. Okay, so that goes there. Pipe, I could probably just copy the one I have over here. There we go. Now the pillars are going to be thicker, 0.3. And then what I'm thinking, I could probably try out a shift list. Okay, let me just actually do this first. I'm going to change the color. When everything is the same color, it's a little bit tricky to see. So, oh, shoot. Enable, turn this on. Enable, and then here I should probably do the same for the pipes. Now the thing with the pipes is probably, I don't know if it's a good idea to change the color of one and then adjust the other one. So it might be wise to do this. Separate them. I could probably share the same value here. I just need to copy this. Okay, copy paste. This one goes here. Instead of being black, this one could be white. White is a little bit more visible. Now, there is something I do want to play around with. Now, I don't know if it's going to be tricky. Heavy. There is something I like to do. Because here it's just symmetrical, right? So what I can actually do is I could shift... Oh, crap. I'm going to save. I can shift one of the lists. Shift list 0 to 200 because there's a lot of points. Okay. I'm going to put this over there. I'm going to say 50. And it's going to shift. Huh. And then here, I can do this also. This is going to be interesting. My maximum value, which is going to be more of a conditioning. That's interesting. There is a thing I want to do. Oh man. definitely not. Was it mesh to nab? Mesh to nabs. Oh, thank fudge. Okay, here. Let me just turn this off. I prefer working with triangles. Yeah, I don't want to work with meshes. Sorry, this is just a habit I have. Frame. Scale factor between 0 and 1. Okay. Ahora sí. Now the issue here is that fucking on my throat. You're going to say structurally this doesn't make any sense, blah blah blah. But I have an alternative. So bear with me. Brep. Okay, let me see if I can work this out. Okay, so we have those. We're just going to call this glass. Oh, this is glass. So imagine we're inside, we're in a pavilion, you're seeing this sort of thing, and then I think this length should probably be a bit smaller. Stretched length should be like 0.35, so it doesn't stretch as much. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create some beams on the top. So if I find my curve, my inwards offset, what I can do is I can interpret that as a surface, like so. I think this, we should probably put this underneath. This is quite a big script. Where are you? Surface. Okay, so this is my surface. What was the logic? What am I looking for? The logic is what? What's the logic? Okay, let's close this point. Yeah. So, sorry, I just went blank. The logic, what's the logic? Triangles, aquí. Curves, I can interpret this as curves, yes. Project. I can project this upwards. Z. Direction. Curves. Rep. Ah, wrong way around. Oh no, it's correct. Okay, so turn this off for now. I have that mesh. Do I want to do that though? I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know. My idea was to connect this with the top ones, but structurally that's also a bit weird. Do you know what I mean? The idea was to connect them with curves, but I don't find that too attractive. My other alternative was to do the following. Let me backtrack. I was thinking of just doing a contour on the x-axis, so unit x, which is going to be the direction, distance every meter, every 2 meters. It's not, we can change that afterwards. So we have that dissection, and actually no, this should probably go on the other one. There, okay. Extrude, no, we can do that afterwards. Because otherwise I'm going to lose track. Okay, so I'm going to bring this forward here. These are my triangles. Where are you? Triangles are going to be here. Good. I'm going to use deconstruct brep. Where are you? Deconstruct brep. This one here, deconstruct brep. I'm going to remove duplicate points because I know there are. Duplicate points. This one here. I'm going to flatten. Connect that there. Oops, wrong one. Edges. I'm going to curve closest point. Points. Flatten. No, graft. Flatten. Now the issue is I don't know if it's going to find all of the possible outcomes. Yeah, I feel like it does. That's really annoying. If I'm to connect this, let me just reduce the number. It's going to do all of the possible outcomes. Oh, Jesus, this might be an issue. Yeah, it does. That's really annoying. Sort by distance. If I sort by distance, then I can just select the last one. Is that how that works? Alternatively, I can generate pillars in the interior. Huh. I like that option a lot more. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's going to be cooler. Okay. Random split list. This is going to make it a little bit, this is going to be a bit cooler. I'm going to bring this up here. I'm going to say between 0 and 1. I'm going to say 20% of the points. Seed split. Seed between 0 and 100. I'm going to leave it on 0 for now. Project points. Project line. Cool. And then where's my other one? Are these my pillars? No, they're not my pillars. Where are my pillars? Over here. I'm going to drag this to the end. I'm going to copy and paste. Bring this over here. And these ones are going to be a bit smaller. And we have those interior pillars holding up the structure. And then what I'm going to do with the structure is extrude Z and whatever distance it needs to be. Now, because they're quite big, we're going to have to give them, I mean, the spans are so big that we're probably, what am I doing? We'll probably have to give them big value so that they're thick, so that they have a bigger span. Okay, there. There you go. That's what I was looking for. Let me bring this down. Jesus, this script is becoming big. Offset brep. Toggle. Merge faces. Blah blah blah. Distance between 0 and 1. I'm going to say 0.1. So save, because we have not saved. Vamos a ver. Let it load. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Por favor, no petes ahora. Por favor, señora. Señora, no. This is why you save. Okay, good. What I'm also thinking of is doing one very small detail, which I think is going to be good. Can we have the curve? We have the curve. Edges. Okay, yeah. Is to do a Delaunay mesh or edge with these points here. But the thing is, we will need exterior points as well. Okay, I'm just trying to think here. No, I don't like it. I don't like it. The idea is to do... I mean, I could do it another way. I could... Give me a second, guys. Sorry for overlapping things here. These points. Projection points. The pillars. No. No, that means I would need a separate one. I could do a separate one. Okay. I can do this. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to think so I don't waste your time. Project. No, not project. I need to see what points I'm selecting. Points. Points. This is one of them. Some of them. And then project onto the top. Now, that's going to be an issue too. I could do a Delaunay mesh. No, I don't know. I don't know if it's wise to cover the top. Nah, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to cover the top. I think it's going to ruin it. I think it's going to ruin it. What I am going to do is I'm going to extrude this a bit more. Oh, is that working? 2. Okay, layer time. I do want to try something out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In order. So I'm going to bring this forward. Okay, so layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 3, layer 4, layer 5, layer 6, frames. The hell? Surface. Oh no, we don't want. We don't. Do we need that? These are the frames. This is the panel. Okay, the panels is what we need. I don't want the frame. I want the panel. Ah, which is sort of similar. Ah, shit. Oh no, I can just use the surface itself. Not a problem. Surface. I'm gonna get rid of this because this is quite heavy. Bring this all the way down here. There we go. And this is what layer? 6? Shit, I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6. 6. And we have this going on. Okay. Now, do I want to see the frames? Oh no, the surfaces is mixed. Where's my... what? Wait a second. I'm missing a layer. I'm missing this layer. Didn't it do it? The hell? It doesn't do it. Why? Excuse me? Cheers, mate. Your approval, especially you, guy. It means the world. Corazón, así. Round corners, both sides, solid. I don't know what's happening. Is it merge? Probably merge faces causing the issue. And it might be causing it to slow down also. So I'm going to modify that. Hopefully that's going to be the case. If not, I can just do it manually in Rhino 2. Is it what's going on? Why is it why are you not loading, huh? Why are you not loading, you naughty naughty? Por favor, carga. Por favor. There we go. This is meant to be layer 5, right? Yes, that was the issue. Okay, so I don't need this layer. The 6 was triangular panels, right? Triangular panels. Triangle beams. What's this? Big columns. Columns. Give me a sec. I'm going to prepare something. Okay. Panels, blah, blah, blah. This is top ring. And then this is like the bottom or top. Okay, so let's do something interesting. Well, that's cool. That's cool. Okay. Perspectiva dos puntos. I'm going to use 22 camera. And I'm going to do Arctic. What if I remove the top ring? Oh, that's interesting. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, can I monochrome? I'm trying to find a cool viewer. Okay, one sec. Give me a sec, guys. I want to try something out. One sec. I want to try something out, but I can't share with it now. So I'm going to save this view. This one. I'm trying to see what suits best. This could be interesting. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save it in a folder. Sorry, guys. I don't want to share my private folders. Oh shit. There we go. 001. Interesting. Obviously, if I render it, it's going to be better. But I think it's interesting. Give me a sec. Where's my screenshot? I'm loading some examples. Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? It doesn't look realistic though. ChatGPT is going crazy with the last update. Let's see what it does. Thing is, I might run out of daily credits. Give me a sec. Is it loading? Oh, did it freeze? Oh, it's loading. Ooh. Interesante. Muy interesante. Now, I think the other one's going to work better. This view. So, monochrome. Is it too dark? It might be a little bit too dark. Arctic. Let's try Arctic. Might be better. 002. This is the other one. Oh no, this is the same one. I've just opened up the same one. I'm going to leave that there. I'm creating another one now. I'm just trying to get another version. You can, yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Ugh. English. It could be interesting. I'm not. Don't know. I think if I render it first, it's going to be able to give it depth so that AI can interpret it a lot better. Yeah, I need to render it first, otherwise it's not going to do it properly. I'll share that. I'll share the result later. I think that's going to be a little bit more sensible. Here we go. Oh shit, I added aerial. Give me a sec, guys. Let me fix that. As okay, one sec. Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably render it beforehand. That seems to be a common theme. Oh, that could be interesting view. That's an interesting view. Huh. Yeah, it's interesting. It is interesting. I don't know. What do you guys think? I need feedback. I need feedback. Doesn't necessarily have to be positive. Where's my... Where did I just leave it? Oh, that's not it. Did I just close it by accident? Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. Here. I keep saying aerial. That's the issue. Give me a sec, guys. I know what the issue is. Okay, I think I fixed the prompt. Ahora sí. Yeah, anyway. Got to do that X-ray style. Mate, honestly, it's not that difficult. You just do this. Oh. My rhino is in Spanish, so might be a little bit different. Might take a second to load, actually. Oh my god, horrible. Where's my mouse? There. Oh man, I'm getting some really awful results. It's loading. Give me a sec. Okay. Now. Oh, I keep closing stuff. You know when you open and close stuff by accident? References, screenshots, 3. I need number 2. Okay. Oh my god, this is taking ages. Alright. Anyway. Did you guys see, by any chance, my AI post from today? I'm going to show you guys. How's the drainage? Well, if it's a pavilion, you don't really need draining. But if it were a pavilion, what I would do is I would extract the lowest points from the triangular system, and then we did this in a project here in Spain. You would drain, so you'd find the lowest points, and then you would just, in the pillar, you would make it whole. So you give the thickness, you give the pillar enough thickness for it to transmit the load, but then you leave a hole in the middle, and then you just drain it through there. Huh. Look at this option. It's hilarious. I don't like it, but yeah, I just need to render it first, but I'm not going to render here, of course. Yeah, anyway. Let me see if I can... The renders are going to be interesting. Oh, the thing's finished. That's jokes. Okay, so perspective, blah, blah, blah. We have ourselves a nice little CAD drawing. Very, very heavy though. Evidently so. Ah, damn, I just got a notice saying I'm generating images too quickly. Fine. I'll post afterwards, it's fine. Oh, don't freeze. Oh, these are the AI renders I posted today. This one's really interesting. I should probably expand this one a little bit. Nano Banana, they did an update and they effed it up. I really do not like the new update they did with Nano. I like this one a lot, and I think it's because of the contrast between the orange and the green. I love here how it's so monumental, how you see the small people. I don't know, I really like this one here. And this one's cool as well, to be honest. Let me quickly try something out. Midjourney. Give me a sec, I want to show you guys something. See if we can come up with something interesting. Which one? This one. Okay, let's try this one. So. Oh. AI. Which one could look cool? Trees always look cool. Let's try this one. Copy link. Imagine. Blah, blah. Let that load. Yeah, anyway, I'm kind of going off track. I don't want not to turn this off. It's an interesting one. I mean, we deviated quite a lot from the original design, but I think it's interesting nonetheless. It's going to produce some interesting results. Like even this view here is going to be quite an interesting one. play around with this a little bit. Okay, anyway. What is the V-Ray command? Do you mean for the drawing? I think it's just, is it draw 2D or make 2D maybe? Oh, it's still loading. In a land far, far, far away. It's still loading. I'm not a fan of any. Yeah, I don't like it. I should have said zoom out instead of zoom in. Try that. Let me try this again. Oh my god, this might be a bit too heavy. Anyway, guys, if this takes too long, I'm just gonna stop the stream here. I'm gonna stop the stream here, guys. Is it loading? No, it's not bloody loading. 43%. Okay, it's still loading this as well. Everything is. Oh, there we go. Haha. And here we have another version. Cool. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna leave it here, guys. Thank you so much for joining the stream. It's a weird one. It's quite a weird one, but you know, was it worth doing? Yeah, I think it was. It's an interesting one. Anyway, alright guys, I'm going to say goodbye. I will see you all guys on the next one. Thank you for joining. And I'm glad you were here. In it, bruv. In it, bruv. Yeah. Oh god, cleaning this is going to be a bit of a nightmare. I might do a tutorial on kangaroo physics for school this weekend. Do you think that's something that would be interesting to do? We're out in breath. Funny guy, man. In London, we would say, "Are you dizzy? Are you dizzy, fam?" We were little teenagers where we used to think we were a bit hard. Yeah, anyway, guys, I'm blabbing on. I will see you all on the next one, hopefully. And if you have any recommendations regarding what we should do next on future streams, don't hesitate in asking or sending a reference. This was based off a reference of one of my Patreon users. You don't have to be a Patreon user. You can just send me a reference via Instagram and I'll have a look. And if it's, you know, if I think it's worth doing on stream, we should definitely do it. So please, if you see references throughout the week on Instagram or whatever, just send it my way. Don't send links, send screenshots. Just because I'm trying to avoid clicking any links, and that'd be cool. Yeah, just let me know. I think this script is a bit too powerful, a bit too much to share this week round. But I will be sharing the kangaroo part of this script on school. You know what, I might share with you guys. I'm going to share it on school, half of the script. I think that's fair. at the end of the day, this is sort of intellectual property, so I'm not always a huge fan of sharing everything, but I'm okay with sharing this part here and the other part as well. Actually, let me quickly correct this. I'm going to share on school. I'm just going to send out a link for this part here. Let me turn this on. For this part here, I have a shift list right somewhere here. There we go. Yeah. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining, and I will speak to you all very, very soon. Alright guys, thank you so much. Speak to you soon. Bye. Bye guys. Hasta luego.